Yeah, somebody redeemed fireworks.
Okay, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, welcome to the losers bracket final here in Warship Masters Invitational 2024. We're looking at TSYMQ here in the green. They are fielding. We have a Yu-Yang, double Yu-Yang. Let's see. Let's have a peek. Both radar Yangs. We got James Wu here on the right. Radar and Dazzle. We got Yalwin on the other end of the line. Basically, more or less the same build. In the middle, Wenrao's
enhanced survivability. Yep.
Yep. Wenrao's Druid, backed up by a 4-cruiser lineup. We're looking at triple Hindenburg. We've got Yeku's Hindi here, unique upgrade, top grade gunner. Very similar build out of Panda, although he's running heavy HE as well. And Nuoli also, all three Hindenburgs running unique upgrade. Nuoli here also running outnumbered instead of top grade gunner. And a flagship, FLS's Conde. We've seen this before, going for rudder, heavy HE, gun reload, and engine protection. What is TWA bringing? That's our first look at them this event.
Yeah, worthy to note, too, that's the last time TSYMQ can bring the Conde.
Yep.
It is now expired for them after this battle.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. It's our first look at TWA in the losers bracket. Who would have thought? Let's take a look at this driver in the Grozovoy heading straight for a full speeding it and turning now. Putting up a smoke screen. He's trying to make it so that Point and the Goliath and especially Kaistis' Moskva don't get detected.
Yep, trying to hide the Moskva.
They move their way into this position. So anyway, he's got a very utility build, Grozovoy, right, with radio location, superintendent, all that good stuff. Behind him is Point and a Goliath that usually signals that is the kite side, but TWA is putting a Moskva over this way too. So Point's got top grade gunner with full reload build. Kaistis' Moskva coming up towards a safe space there that's been put together by Striver's brilliantly executed smoke. You feel like they've practiced that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Raptor.
For sure.
In training room for a few hours probably. Kaistis in the Moskva now with unique upgrade going through that smoke. He's gonna be in a brilliant position. Put the circle up. You can see to radar both A and B. Marcelo Pello in the Janan with a full gun build Janan. Burn all the things and do as much damage as possible. Over on the other side, Kinemod, K-Suk is working his way towards the C-cap with the Wushta. Now this is a gun reload build with top grade gunner and outnumbered. Kinemod is one of those people that you just simply can't kill, so it makes sense to have him in that kind of build. Vile 9 is in the Yu-Yang. This is a torpedo spec smoke spec Yu-Yang. Obviously going to work with the Wushta together, and then we've got British moving in the Lushun to the C-cap with radio location and pretty much all the typical fixins you'd see on a Lushun. Woof, took a while to get through.
Indeed, the Moskva up at the A-cap getting picked up early. We see TSYMQ going for a fairly traditional 4-3 split. One of the things about Riposte, though, this map is small. The caps are close together. It plays very quickly, and things can change in a hurry. It's right. Shocking the number of times we've seen crazy stuff happen on this map in a short order. Wenrao's Druid getting just hammered early. Now that's going to draw out the radar from Christus. Wenrao trying to maybe get back behind cover.
He's stuck Bowen. There ain't no cover for him.
He doesn't
have his Hydro going. He's about to be reminded he's got Hydro.
He is going to dodge the torpedoes here. He's going to take another big chunk from Point's Goliath.
Both of his turrets are currently broken.
Yep. Going to get those back. Still on fire.
He's dead. He can't even DCP this.
No.
He's dead.
The fire burned out.
Oh, whoa.
The fire. It was a full duration fire, but the blind fire from Point, knowing where he is, dumping shells in there. Big first kill for TWA.
That's an example of why I always recommend people, if they're playing competitive destroyer, you take the fire reduction flag in a destroyer. You need that fire to burn out as quickly as possible.
Now that said,
great kill by Point.
Kaistis' Moskva is not exactly feeling amazing back here. He's been through a heal and a DCP. He's already down to below a third of his HP. Marcelo's Janan moves up to bring him some smoke as well. On the south flank, look at Pandazath. I think he took some torpedoes or something. Damn. What happened here?
Probably. Deep waters from Vile, I would imagine. Vile has used his torpedo reload booster, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what did it. Interesting that Panda had his hydro going and still took those torpedoes if that's the case. Oh, British also with the torpedoes. I'll bet you these guys are really good
They're great at cross-torping.
triangulating torpedoes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're great at cross-torping. They might have pinned him between some deep waters, and he couldn't avoid them all.
Yeah. This is one of the things that after casting games so much, we can kind of deduce that kind of stuff. So apologies for missing it as Marcelo takes a
Ooh.
deep water torp himself, and he's going to back into more torpedoes.
Yeah. They're going to lose
Marcelo's
the
backing
Janan.
into a second. Ooh.
So it's going to be
TCP's down too.
It's going to be a big kill there for TSYMQ. They're down a cap, but claiming back a kill, trying to keep Panda in the game. AP salvo going in on Kinney's Worcester. They caught a glimpse of him back there on the side of the smoke. Nothing doing.
Yeah, Kinney knows better than to stay in the smoke. He's staying behind the smoke. But worthy of note too, the Hindenburgs don't care about Moskva's 50mm armor, and you can see what happened to that Moskva. Unfortunately for TSYMQ, they weren't able to convert the kill, but they've definitely beaten him down to the point where Kaistis is calling in friends to ensure he doesn't die.
Indeed, now the farming begins on Nuoli's Hindenburg. Doesn't feel like the Hindenburg unique module's making that big of a difference right now, does it, Seth?
No. And you remember what that does, right?
I do. It's honestly, it's one of the weakest, most I'm gonna be brutal here for a minute. One of the most worthless unique upgrades in all of Warships, and I keep wondering why they don't do something with it.
What makes it worthless, sir?
Hindenburg, the ship does not like sustained fire. It doesn't want to be continually shot at, and that module rewards you for being continually shot at. So why would you why? Hashtag confused screaming, right?
So for those of you who don't know what this does, you have 50% to main battery repair time. So if your main battery goes out, it comes back 50% quicker. 40% to fire extinguishing time. So if you're on fire, you know that fire burns out quicker essentially. 70% to flooding recovery time, which, hey, I get it. If you're worried about all these deep water torpedoes and cross torps, that really helps a lot. And then 20% to rudder shift time makes it easier to kind of turn the ship a little bit. But you're right, Hindenburg, the problem with Hindenburg isn't fire or flood. The problem with Hindenburg is just getting shot at.
Yes.
Continually.
So the unique upgrade module just doesn't get you. It does. So many other unique upgrade modules in World of Warships, they take something on the ship that it desperately needs and gives it to them, let's say.
Yes.
You look at something like gearing. What does gearing need? Gearing needs just a little more stealth. And guess what the unique module does? Bam, more stealth. That kind of thing. At the expense of a little bit of gunpowder. And most gearing players in certain situations will take that trade. And it works out. Hindenburg doesn't need this. So why?
And now on top of that, it takes away slot 5, the concealment module. Now the concealment isn't as important, but people forget the concealment comes with a 5% debuff to dispersion of shells being shot at it. In other words, Hindenburg is taking more hits from people that know how to accurately aim at it.
Yep. 1 HP for Panda.
1 HP.
That was hilarious. Well,
and British takes him down.
I mean, the game is all but over. They've pushed TSYMQ off all the caps. It's a 2-ship lead for TWA.
TSYMQ looked very strong at the beginning, had some amazing shots. Unfortunately, their druid got completely surprised and farmed out.
Yep. And, stuck bow in as a destroyer is never a place you want to be. They can see the Yu Yang here. Is it going to matter? They weren't able to get the resets. There they finally get them.
Yep. And TSYMQ down to 4 ships remaining, 3 over at A, 1 just running as fast as possible on the 10 line.
I have a hard time imagining a world where they don't murder Yalwin's Yang on the 10 line at some point. I think they're going to send James around the corner to just try to assassinate Kaistis. Yep, it's coming. We're going to get a close pass here.
Striver with the Grozovite trying to stop this.
I'm going to keep the modules up. They're trying to in-cap the torpedoes to try and prevent this.
Well, and they took out They took out his engine, so that slows him down. The thing though is James was shooting at the Grozavoy, so now he's got to turn his torpedoes all the way around. Takes a little extra time.
He
Does get the shot off.
Does get the shots in the water, but he's going to die. There he goes. So it's a trade. That's the best thing that TWA could have hoped for, frankly.
And unfortunately, it's probably also almost the best thing that TSYMQ could have hoped for too.
I mean,
although Striver,
without the Grozavoy there pitching in, they would have had an opportunity to possibly get that for free. But no, it's clearly not happening now. They do bag Striver, but again, it's going to be too little too late here for TSYMQ to recover from this. As spread out as TWA is, TSYMQ just simply doesn't have enough health on the board. There goes the Hindenburg, and that leaves literally the Conde as the last survivor.
well, they paid dearly for that Conde.
Well,
and that flagship survives for now, at least. They got a star.
They got value out of him, but in the end of the day, it's just not going to be enough.
Yeah. Now, this is their second use of Conde. Someone in chat was saying, "Wait a minute, is this a forfeit?" Should not be a forfeit because this is their second time using a Conde, and they can take a Conde twice.
Yep, FLS sails out of the cap, knows it's over, not going to drag things out, going to let him go ahead and tick up over 1,000 points. Game 1 to TWA.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the negotiations were brief, Raptor.
They were very aggressive negotiations, Zath. Yes, they were. Very sad. I'm sad to see Hindenburgs get manhandled this way, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna say now I'm gonna do something at the end of this whole thing. I'm gonna when this match is clipped, I'm gonna write. You know, one of the things we've talked about with Bogsy before, right? They want when we see stuff when we have opinions about things that need to get looked at. This is going to go to Bogsy with a write-up about why Hindenburg's unique upgrade needs to be seriously revamped, because it doesn't do the thing it's supposed to do, which is let the ship survive against fires and HE. It doesn't. So it's trash. And this game is like an example, right? Very sad.